we're going out of this world today, aren't we? A little bit out of this world. Oh, man, that one was horrible, wasn't it? I don't even remember the name. This week we watched Power Rangers and what was the other one?
Taking Earth.
Taking Earth. We're going to start off with Taking Earth. This movie was so bad.
I know. Okay, hold on. I will give them this. If this is a new company trying to make a movie and trying to make a name for themselves, E for effort.
I saw this on Netflix.
Other than that,
I opened my Netflix and I'm going through it and I'm like, ooh, this one looks good, right? And I put it on my list. I'm like, I read the description and I was like, this could be good.
The description
put it on my list
makes it sound way better than the movie turned out to be. And this looked like an art school project.
It looked like something a bunch of high school or college students did.
We're trying to do on obviously a low budget, which is fine.
But even the acting was bad in it.
Yeah,
even
the acting.
Like, it was very. I don't even know how to describe it.
It's like there's a teleprompter.
Yeah,
this is my line. I am reading my line.
Very monotone. It was just like, what is going on? I kind of got excited to watch it. This is why I don't get excited about movies from pictures or anything like that. Maybe I should have watched the trailer, and then I would have been like, "What? No."
Yeah, I watched trailers, at least one. You know, I may not make it through the whole trailer because at some point in time I'll go, okay, I want to watch it. I don't want to see any more spoilers of the show. But
it was this was so bad. I just was like,
is this a Netflix original?
I don't
type
think
thing?
so. No,
this is just
it's not
thrown on to Netflix.
Yeah,
you know, Netflix. These are the movies you should be taking off.
Yes,
and leaving the good ones in your queue. Instead of taking the good ones away.
Yeah. You know, one good thing about Netflix, this movie was so bad, we're going to divert off from the review of it.
Okay.
One good
don't
thing
watch it.
Don't.
Not worth it.
No.
Moving on.
The one good thing about Netflix is that they took a title off, Cat in the Hat, and my youngest daughter, she loves to watch it. She likes to watch it, and it came off, and she was devastated. And I tweeted at them.
Oh.
And they were like, oh, blah, blah. They responded, and they sent me the link to request it back on.
Oh.
So I was like, okay. And I put it back in. I was like, could you put Cat in the Hat back on? Sent it off. The next day, Cat in the Hat was back on Netflix. And I was like, I'm sure it wasn't all me.
No.
But I like to think it was. I'm like, yeah, Daddy saves the day. And that's like the second time. Because the first one with Rounders, my favorite movie of all time, we've done a review.
Yep.
Go check it out. I said, because the Americans could get it, but the Canadians couldn't. And I was like, hey, could you let us Canadians have Rounders? And then like a month later, boom, Rounders. I was like, again, I'd like to think that was all me, but I know it wasn't. Here I am. I'm sucking on the teat of Netflix again. I like to suck on the teat of Netflix because I love Netflix. Like, they're increasing their price by $1. I'm like, okay, I have no problem with it. No problem.
Yeah, well, considering when you compare it against HBO, which is $20 a month.
Yeah.
You know, and it has
that's $20. $20 a month on the cable package that I have is $20 a month for that and like the movie network. So you get 4 channels for $20. So really, but I don't know how, like, if you just wanted HBO on its own.
No,
I don't know if
the HBO streaming, like the.
Oh, that I don't know. Can we get that in
it's
Canada? I don't even think we can get that in Canada.
I think it's still $20 though.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, yeah.
But okay, for that matter, we don't get Hulu here in Canada either, and that's another streaming one. Amazon is a streaming one, and I have no comparisons to those because I don't think they're available in Canada. So I think the HBO one is.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
It's the only way people can.
That's how the world's gonna go now. Eh? There's so many new streaming things coming out. Like Disney's just announced that they're gonna pull from Netflix and go on to their own streaming service, which I'm totally excited for.
And again, we have talked about this numerous times in the past, how long we've been doing this. Why aren't these companies doing this? Because it's not like they don't have catalogs of films that they could put on, and people will go
Universal, Paramount, blah blah blah.
If you put on your whole list of films from when you started to now, you know how many people would actually go and start watching old movies because they're available in HD?
Yeah.
You know, because the other day I watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because my girls were like, oh, you know, we want to watch influential movies. And I'm like, influential movies? And it's like, yeah. Do you have a list? And they're like, no, we'll find one and we'll start watching some movies. And Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was on there. And it wasn't the best quality. And I know when movies were originally made, they were made in 7mm or 70mm film, which is like HD or 4K equivalent to today's stuff. So this shouldn't have looked as bad.
Yeah.
You know, it should have been crisp, clean, very, very nice, and it wasn't. It was interesting.
It seems like these companies are finally getting it. You know, there's been a few companies that, you know, WWE has their own network.
Yeah.
Netflix obviously innovated this streaming thing because they've been around the longest, from what I understand. Because we're Canadian, we're limited to what we have. But
we understand that there's Hulu and Amazon.
Yeah, there's other ones. But it seems, I hope. But the only problem is that I see is that they're all going to be $10 to $20 range, hopefully. And you're going to need so many that it's going to be just like having cable. You know, I know that up here in Canada, Sportsnet now has you can get Sportsnet separate from cable companies now for $10 a month, and it gives you all their channels. And I'm like, ooh, one more sports network has to do this. TSN, if you come out with a package where I pay $10, $15 a month, I am ditching cable. I am out.
Yeah, but when you think about it, if you're paying like $100 a month for cable, that works out to what? Anywhere from, like, if it's a $20 package, that's five
streaming services. Yeah,
5 streaming services to 10. Say if they're $10, right?
Yeah.
So
it'd be the same because you pay $100. You still have to have internet. You pay $100 for internet.
Yeah.
And then,
so exactly, what you're doing is you're just cutting out all the commercials.
Yeah.
You're cutting out all the fluff. News, honestly, has been going downhill ever since the advent of the internet and YouTube. So it's one of those things of, if they start doing this, people will want to, simply because why am I going to continue watching cable when
cable's outdated? Cable's old. You know, cable is totally old form. It's old school, and it's just it's no good anymore because people don't want to sit down in front of a TV at a specific time and watch a show. They want to be able to watch it when they want.
Yeah, and Netflix has definitely shown that direct, shows can be made better simply by giving them a free, not necessarily a free reign, but reign to do what they want. You know, there have been a lot of good Netflix originals.
There's probably been as many misses as there has as hits, but I think the hits are the pros to the hits shows on that are bigger than the cons.
But at least at this point in time, you can go by hard facts and figures of what's popular and what's not popular, because Netflix knows what's watched and what's not watched, whereas cable TV, there's a lot of aspect of social justice in there, because it's like, oh, we have to have
this,
we have to have a gay couple, we have to have, you know, the colored friend, we have to have this, we have to have that, whereas Netflix, if it doesn't sell, it's gone.
Yeah.
And cable is like, oh, well, we have to, because we got to make it more PC. And it's like, it's starting to show, and people are going, I want to go someplace else.
Exactly. A lot of people are turning to the stream services over cable nowadays, and I hope that I'm super excited for Disney coming out with theirs. I'm like totally jacked, because if they put their whole library on there, I'm sold.
So this will lead in to the Power Rangers, because this is a good example of them turning to the PC culture, because they rebooted Power Rangers, which, you know, I was a bit of a fan of Power Rangers when it used to be on TV.
Small one, yeah.
You know, if it was on, I would watch it.
I think most men, little teenage boys had crushes on the Pink Power Ranger at some point in their life.
Yeah.
Pink Power Rangers was quite the hottie.
Yeah. So, and then you see the PC culture in this movie, because they had a black guy, they had an Asian guy, they had a white guy, they had a white girl and a Latino girl.
I think so, yeah.
It's hard to tell sometimes with Latinos. The black guy was autistic. the Oriental wasn't a bookworm; he was a spaz case. The white guy was a failed jock, for lack of a better term. The Latino girl was a lesbian.
I think so. Yeah.
That's what they
Emo,
alluded.
kind of, a little bit.
And the other one, I don't know.
When I'm watching Power Rangers, I'm like, okay, Power Rangers is not about that kind of stuff in my mind. And to me, that movie kind of it wasn't what I remember for Power Rangers.
Yeah. I get it, because they have to, you have to feel for the characters. There has to be a sense of, the character, the connection with them.
Yeah.
Whereas in a TV show, they have a whole, like 23 episodes to make that connection.
23 episodes. Holy shit. What TV shows are you watching that have 23 episodes now? Did Power Rangers have 23 episodes?
Oh, I think that.
Holy shit.
Oh, God. There must have been like 400.
I guess they're only only half
an hour.
shows,
Yeah,
so.
exactly. They were only half-hour shows. But, Power Rangers was literally about the fights. And they kind of...
The corny-looking fights, because they were so corny-looking. And they were just, ridiculous. But they were so funny to watch.
Yeah, the guy in the costume. Rah,
Yeah.
Rah,
Totally,
rah.
and it was just... So that's what kind of the cheese factor made those shows kind of good. Kind of watchable.
Yeah, and they took that...
And they tried to make it mainstream. They tried
to change the cheese flavor, and that's not what made the show.
No, it was a decent movie.
Yeah,
it was okay. It was obviously because it had a lot of Hollywood behind it.
Yeah,
and what I mean by that is it had a lot of money in it. But
I don't know if it was necessarily enough.
The nostalgia behind it.
The nostalgia factor,
not there.
Yeah, it wasn't there. It's like. Honestly, they shouldn't have CGI'd the things. They could have made them models and had to, CGI some of the movement. But, it just looks... When you CGI everything and everything...
I know, it's overdone. You're just like, really?
Yeah, it's... You might... it's... was it... I saw a meme the other day. Star Wars, the original Star Wars, behind the scenes, and you see Luke with the lightsaber, and it's the glow stick, right? And the set behind him. And then there's Star Wars Episode 1, behind the scenes, and you see Anakin with a lightsaber that's a glow stick and a green screen behind him. And it's just that's not the way it's supposed to be. And so...
I like action movies. I do, but now I find that... it is too computerized, and I'm finding that I'm more pulled towards good story.
Yeah,
maybe it's because I'm old.
In the fight scenes in a half-an-hour TV show, you could see the sense of karate or the martial arts aspects from the Asian influence. Whereas this one, there was no. Was there karate? I think there was a little bit type thing, but
I don't even
remember.
All
looked so...
It just looked just
bad. So...
I think maybe younger kids would enjoy it because it's their first time seeing Power Rangers. No?
My kids...
Oh, they didn't like it? No?
It at all. I watched it with my kids, and they're like, no.
These were two... Well, the first movie was so bad. Do not watch that movie.
We don't say it very often. But
no,
honestly,
normally if it's bad, we're like, hey, just give it a shot if you like. But this one, don't. Taking Earth, do not. If you're like me and you see it on Netflix and you're like, hey, this one looks interesting,
complain to Netflix.
Telling you,
algorithm is screwed up because it is.
Oh man, I'm telling you, do not watch that movie. Oh my god.
Oh, it was so horrible.
Power Rangers. If you want to watch it, and
it's okay. It's okay enough to watch the first time, but...
if you're expecting, the nostalgia, kind of I was like, oh, maybe there'll be some nostalgia, because I used to watch it a little bit when I was no. You won't see it, just free your mind of that.
Although, the villain, she looked like she had fun during the movie. She looked like she enjoyed the part.
Yeah.
I will admit that. She looked like she...
Oh, that was the girl who played in Zack and Mimi Make a Porno?
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. She looked like she was having fun. So good on her. At least somebody looked like they had fun in the movie. Because the rest of us, not so much.
Not so much, no. So let us know what you thought of Power Rangers.
And if you
watched Taking Earth, I'm sorry.
We warned you.
Yeah,
we did warn you.
And comment below and subscribe for more wonderful movie reviews. See ya.
See ya.